ghouls, my ghouls, and my zools. Welcome back. This is Tactical Shooting. Today we are in goddamn backwards land. It's like we are drunk driving on the wrong side of the road. Hooray! Merry old fucking England! Not talking about an AK today. We are not talking about an AK today. We are, again, let me repeat that for you, not talking about So today we are taking a look at the Wolf T91. This is a Taiwanese upper.
It ain't goddamn Chinese!
But I think today I'm going to be saying it a little bit like Misha. Today we are looking at the Wolf T91. So this particular T91 is a 12-inch. They come in a 12, a 14, and a 16-inch configuration. To tell you the truth, there is a bunch of different configurations of this gun. Mostly through the years, it just went through barrel upgrades, you know, shortening the barrel down, heavier profile, lighter profile, and such. These particular barrels are not the original barrels from Taiwan. They are not the original gas blocks from Taiwan. Interesting thing to note is they actually use a heavier profile than the Taiwan barrels, so you are actually getting a little less recoil. But one nice detail from the factory that is true across the 16, 14, and 12 is they've actually turned the barrel down right in front of the gas block and given you a thinner profile. And when it comes down to the 14-inch and the 16-inch, I'm sure that's some noticeable weight difference. Don't know about the 12-inch, but I'm sure it's noticeable. The muzzle brake is the compensator version of the birdcage flash hider. You do have the flat bottom. You are feeding from standard Stanag mags. And even though these do feed from standard non-proprietary AR-15 magazines, these did actually have their own magazines. They were windowed with just drilled out holes so you could see the number of rounds left. And another interesting feature that was a little different than your standard AR mag is it had some lips in the side of it that actually stopped over insertion. Yes, that's exactly what you saw. This is from Meme Mags. You can find him on Instagram, Meme Mags Official. You can find him on Reddit, a couple different places. Meme Mags is primarily a Kalash dude.
And he is a dirty, dirty, dirty boy.
So if you want those, go find you one. Moving on. These are not the original gas blocks. As I said, these do have the heavier profile barrel, but they do appear to be the thinner profile as they are turned down right in front of the gas block. There is a small roll pin. You can see the hole. Not sure how well you can see the roll pin in there. So there is a roll pin right there, and you can knock that roll pin out. You could take this top sight off right there, actually, so you are not married to having that sight on top of the gas block. You got your sling loop here, just pretty standard polymer handguard. This is not like the A2 or anything like that. It's its own proprietary handguard. So should you, for some reason, not like this polymer handguard, you can go to T91 Tactical and get yourself a quad rail. So that is a thing. These do not accept standard AR-15 handguards. So these uppers do come apart just like standard AR-15 uppers, but they actually come apart and break takedown styles. So it's honestly just kind of like a break apart shotgun, but you pull the bolt out, looking pretty standard. One thing you'd notice, a little bit of difference from the standard AR-15 bolt, if that's going to focus, but I'm going to continue talking here because I don't give a crap. Alright, you can see the taper in the bolt right there. What that is with a piston-driven system, you're going to have a bit of tilt when it comes to the bolt. So what this does is it just saves your action and the top of your upper from getting marred up, because when you put it back in, you are going to have to lift up on the whole system a little bit before you slam it back in, and you are back together. So you're going to notice a little bit of a trend when it comes to the model numbers. everything starts with a T, kind of like everything in the US starts with an M. This rifle is based on a rifle called the T86. It was the same piston-driven system underneath, but the T91 was actually replacing a rifle called the T65. T65 was the Taiwan counterpart to our M16A2. Now the M16A2, direct impingement. The T65K2, which was the full designation, was piston driven. It did retain the 1-in-7 barrel that the T65 had, so you do have the lighter profile in Taiwan. A lot of people say the T65K2, which would be the closest version to our M16A2, actually has less recoil, and people say that's certainly true of a T91 versus an M16A2. But when it comes to a T91 versus a M4 style rifle, so I do not know how the recoil is compared to a standard M4. So if you remember this guy, this is my old M4 from way back. Might have used it in the first episode, second episode, something like that. It's been a little bit since I used that guy. So unfortunately I don't have access to a 12-inch AR, but I do have access to a 10-inch AR. So what we're going to do is we're going to check out a 16-inch AR versus the 10-inch AR, and then we're going to see how the T91 feels versus the 10-inch AR. So this is not going to be any kind of scientific test or anything like that. That's not the kind of thing we do here. We do fun tests. We do redneck testing. I actually used to work aerospace, so we're not going to do any real science here. Believe me. Don't want to do that. We're going to do Paul Harrell science. That's the farthest it's going to go here. That's what's happening. So let's keep talking about this T91. You got a slab side upper. You do not have a forward assist, so no fucking Kenosha kid for you. It's been long enough. Bigger problems in the world. So really the only other thing I think is interesting to note about the T91, other than being a Taiwan counterpart to our M4, is that the lower on the military version actually has a 4-position selector. You have safe, semi-auto, 3-round burst, and full auto. And it goes around 360 degrees clockwise. Pretty fucking interesting. Pretty fucking interesting. So, good luck finding one of those. Honestly, sounds like an SOT project. Hint, 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 friends. Hint, hint, hint. It ain't just dropping a fucking sear in your goddamn palmetto and melting that fucker. So guys, thank you so much for sticking with me. If you made it up to this point, I really do appreciate it. And if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. The only thing that keeps the lights on here is those likes, those shares, and those subscribes. I do not have any channel sponsors. I don't have any fucking razors for you. I don't have any gold for you. I don't have any Big Daddy Unlimited. I have no gods. I have no masters. I have no managers. I have no money. So please, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. Boils, ghouls, zools. I love you.